McGravy, who I'm about to play right now, he's really good too.
What's going on, YouTube? I'm back, and today I just want to say thank you guys for all the support that you guys have given me over the past, I think I've been making YouTube videos for over a year now. I'm not sure exactly when we crossed over that barrier of playing Overwatch, or at least making videos for over a year now, but I do know Overwatch has been over a year old for some time now, and you know, just going into the year of 2018, I just wanted to say once again, thank you guys so much for all the subs and the viewership and the continuous viewership and the continuous support that you guys are always giving to me here on YouTube and over on Twitch. I know a lot of you might not follow me over on Twitch, so if you don't, I would appreciate it if you guys could. Even if you guys don't spend a lot of time on Twitch, I would like to get as many follows on Twitch as possible. So if you don't know, there is actually a link to my Twitch down below in the description of all of my videos. So if you guys want to watch me play live, you guys can ask me questions, talk to me live whenever I'm streaming. There's also a link to my Discord down below in the description as well. So if you guys want to hang out with me in my Discord, I share a lot of memes. I'm in there all the time. I'm always on my phone if I'm not gaming. You know, I'm always on Twitter, Facebook, social media, just being your typical millennial. Can't take my mind off my phone, can't take my hands off my phone, and I'm always hanging out in my Discord talking with everyone. So if you guys don't know, or if you just don't have a Discord, you can make a Discord and talk to me at any time. You'll be able to personal message me and joke around, poke fun at me, share memes, make jokes. It's a good time. We have a good community over there on my Discord. Now, just to continue on, now that that's all out of the way, I just want to make a video and try to bring awareness to a situation in Overwatch that I think is a really big issue. Now, I think there's a number of things wrong with the game at the moment, and I know that a lot of you guys don't like it when I complain. I can tell a lot of people in my live stream, anytime I complain about anything, or even in my YouTube comments, people always say, you know, Bor, all you do is complain, you just complain all the time. Can you just stop bitching? If you hate the game so much, why do you play it? Okay, listen. You guys shouldn't worry that I complain about the game. You know, when if the time ever comes where I'm complaining about a game and I stop complaining about the game, that is when you guys should be worried, because that means I no longer care about the game. So when you guys see me raging or being toxic, or in your own terms toxic, because I don't believe that I'm toxic most of the time, I'm really open with my frustration, and I guess that I wear my heart on my sleeve, as people commonly say. But like I was saying earlier, I think that Blizzard really needs to implement a role queue into their game. You know, I've lost so many games not based off of unfair teams or talents or anything like that. You know, I have lost so many games in Overwatch for the sole reason that you'll play against a team that has a main tank player, which is hard to find, and say, for example, the other team has an Orisa player or a Winston player who also flexes and plays Ryan, and then they also have a healer main, and then they have a Mercy main, and then they have a DPS player, like a top 500 DPS player, and then they also might have like a top 500 DPS off-tank flex. And then on your team, you end up, or sometimes on your team, you end up with like 4 DPS players, 2 Mercy mains, or like, for example, 4 tank mains and 3 DPS mains, or I know that math doesn't check out, but you know the point I'm trying to make. And a lot of the times, that alone will decide the outcome of the match, because, say for example, your main tank is being played by a person who's just filling. The main tank on the other team mains main tank. So, say for example, he wins his matchup by just 10%. Say for example, the Mercy on my team is just filling, right? He's just filling his role. They have a Mercy main on the other team. My Mercy loses his matchup by 10%. And then I have a support player who's filling off tank, and they have a plethora of tank players on the other team. Now, my off tank, who's being filled by a support main, loses his matchup by 15%. Do you guys see the point I'm trying to make, and why it's so detrimental to matchmaking in itself? Now, Overwatch is a game designed fundamentally. You're supposed to be flexible, you're supposed to play different heroes, and you're supposed to adapt and counter the other team. Although that was the vision Overwatch had, but that it isn't really reality. It's not how it turned out to be, unfortunately. You know, how many games have you played where your team needs a Reinhardt or that you need a Mercy, and the person will say, No, I suck at Ryan. I can't play Ryan. No, I suck at Mercy. Trust me, you guys don't want to see my Mercy XD. And then they're just immediately excused from filling a role, even if they are the lowest ranked player on the team. And that's just the reality of the game. Like, that's just a matter of fact. Now, this could all be avoided if we had a system where there wouldn't be a role queue exactly. But there should at least be a system where I can prefer my role, you know? Or I could just prefer the heroes that I'm good at. For example, me personally, in my role preference, I would put down Soldier, I'd put down Tracer, McCree, Roadhog, Zarya, and I would even maybe throw Diva in there. And then like I could create using the role preference, for example, I could create a hierarchy of heroes that I'm good at, and at the bottom of my hierarchy, and a lot of players, you would see Mercy at the bottom of mine, and then you would probably see like Reinhardt, Orisa, Torbjorn, Symmetra. You would see all those heroes at the bottom of mine, and then near the top, you would see all the good heroes that I'm good at. And if every player had this all figured out, you could just put that into Overwatch, and obviously you would still end up with some games where it's just going to come down to you're just going to get unlucky and get like 3 support mains on one team. But it would at least improve matchmaking. Now, matchmaking is never going to be perfect, but I think this is a really simple idea, and I don't think it's too much to ask. And I realize that matchmaking is hard to balance because there's so many smurfs and boosters and boosted players and one tricks and stuff like that. But I think that if you just did this one simple thing, it could at least make a little bit of an improvement to the system. I don't feel like it would break the system, or I don't feel like I'm not a game developer, so I can't actually say, but I don't feel like it would be that hard to implement. Now, just kind of switching gears now, I think that, well, I don't think that. I'm actually very, very concerned at the moment with the state of Junkrat. You know, the fact that Blizzard hasn't nerfed that hero yet, like how long ago was Junkrat actually buffed? Like that seemed like it was a while ago, right? And a lot of time has passed since then. And I don't know about you guys, but I see so many Junkrat one tricks that have climbed so much since Junkrat's buff. Players who were in Diamond or Master, and now these players are in Grandmaster Top 500 with like 64% win rates. Riding just the only reason is because Junkrat got a huge buff that he didn't need, for the record. And it, like I said, I'm concerned about this because Blizzard can obviously see this by now. So much time has passed, and I just don't see how they don't see that this hero's broken. And if they do see that he's broken, why haven't they changed him yet? You know, another thing that I find interesting with Blizzard is that it takes them so long to make patches and make updates. Now, I don't know if they do this to kind of create an effect where it seems like the game is always changing. For example, they could leave a glaring hole in their game and then take some time to fix it and then eventually patch it out, and then that would change the meta. And that's kind of like an artificial way of keeping the game fresh. Because if you look at some of the things that they've done with Ironclad Bastion, for example, and Mercy's original Valkyrie, you know, that stuff was so broken where it was almost like, did they even pay attention to what happened in the PTR? Like, they say that the PTR was designed for testing heroes. Well, if that's true, how was Ironclad Bastion ever a thing? It's amazing to me that ever made it through. And I know that's not a big deal because they did eventually fix it after like a couple days or a week or so. But it just goes to show you that the system that they currently have of evaluating hero buffs and nerfs, it just doesn't work. And like, Blizzard is a very talented company, and I just can't see them act like I can't see them accidentally doing these things. I mean, maybe they do, you know. Maybe I shouldn't put too much pressure on them, you know, even though they are like one of the biggest gaming companies in the entire world. But like, if Junkrat isn't nerfed by now, I worry that he's never going to be. And I think that's a huge problem. I mean, because even at the high levels, you're seeing Junkrat get played a lot and be super effective. Everybody across the board thinks Junkrat's overpowered. Literally everybody. Pro players think it. Lower players have always thought it. And I don't understand. This is funny right here. Watch this. Shout out to that, Anna. You played yourself. But like I was saying, I really hope that they patch or buff Anna, nerf Junkrats, and slightly look at reworking Zarya somehow. Maybe a slight nerf to D.Va. Not because, like, D.Va is really strong right now. She's definitely tier 1 off tank. But I also feel like somewhere along the line Zarya became a little bit weaker. Maybe they could give Zarya like a buff in her projectile speed with her right clicks and give her just a slight buff in terms of how much energy she gains or something, because right now as a Zarya player, I feel like she's only good in really niche situations, like on King's Row or the control room on Lijiang Tower, the first point on Eichenwald, the first point attack Hanamura. You know, it's just those really niche situations, and it's really the only situation where Zarya is really viable. And it's because dive comp is so strong right now. And I'm not saying dive comp is a bad thing, but I'm just I think that Zarya needs to be back in the game because Zarya's a lot of fun to play, and I feel like her usefulness is just, it's gone down so far, and I don't know if Blizzard plans on changing Zarya, but it's not a big deal, but it's just how I feel at the moment. I think they also need to do something to get rid of Mercy's dominance right now, even at the high level. Basically, Mercy has turned into a hero where if you don't have it on your team is basically throwing. It's not, I don't think that's good for the game in any way, and I know Blizzard is aware of this. I know for a fact. So I think it's just a matter of time before it actually gets fixed. And I don't know if the solution is buffing Anna and Lucio, but it just seems like the combination of Zenyatta and Mercy at the moment is just head and shoulders above the other duo. Anna and Lucio have just taken such a big backseat to Zenyatta and Mercy. You know, I feel like Zenyatta has always, like, low-key been kind of overpowered, to tell you the truth. Look at this right here. Look at this. Tell me how this is balanced. 1 mine. 2 mines. What a joke, man. Blizzard knows how broken that is, but they just refuse to fix it. But like I was saying, not to get off track, I think that they need to buff Anna and buff Lucio. Although I am slightly concerned with taking that route because I don't know. I don't have a lot of time spent in MOBAs or anything, and I don't know how the balancing strategy of buffing everything works. Although I do know, like, maybe you should never buff a hero, or never nerf a hero and only buff heroes. I've heard people propose that. I don't know if that philosophy is effective or not, but I could see it. I mean, the only problem is when Overwatch, like, remember how overpowered Anna used to be? She could easily get there so fast again. And the problem with buffing heroes as well is you never know what the implications are going to be. Like, remember how long D.Va's defense matrix was in the game for? Like, the original version that was really overpowered? You tweak one thing in the game, one support, one hero, indirectly buffs another hero, and then boom, the whole meta shifts. So I'm no game developer myself, but I think that there's a couple tweaks they can make to this game, and I think this game is very close to being almost perfect. I could see them releasing Hero 27, and also releasing a Mercy nerf or an Ana buff. And I also want to see them rework Junkrat and Zarya at the moment. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you guys so much for the support as usual. I hope that you guys enjoy this video, and don't forget, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, join my Discord. I would love to see you guys there. And once again, thank you guys so much, and have a great day.